Hello and welcome to another episode of Hearth and Hammer. Hope that you're doing well today. We are super excited to be back for this episode. And guys, how are you doing today?
Good.
Man, I'm doing fantastic.
Good. I'm glad to hear it because next week I get to go on vacation and I'm pretty excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So this week is lots of preparing for next week.
Vacation, everybody loves that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. No joke.
So today we are getting into episode 21, which is going to be awesome. If you missed any of our recent shows, check them out on the YouTubes. You can also check it out, the most recent one on our VOD here on Twitch. And you can also look for past episodes on any major podcast app that you choose. Or you can find it at anchor.fm/Hearth and Hammer. Also, don't forget to catch us live on Tuesdays around 9 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/Hearth and Hammer. And don't forget to hit that follow button and get notified whenever we go live. So, also, we continue to use the excellent music by Monument Studios. Once again, check out their stuff. They're awesome. It's monumentstudios.net. They have an amazing soundboard that you can get access to all their stuff for $5 a month. It's an amazing deal. And it's on Mac and Windows. You can also get like a one-time purchase for all their stuff, and it's usually like 70% off. Crazy. And you get monthly updates, which is amazing. So, guys, let's play that video and get to tonight's episode.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say hashtag not sponsored. We just genuinely just love this content.
Hashtag
love
not
it.
sponsored yet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, here we go.
Say bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Everyone say good night to Heel's daughter.
Good night.
Just an FYI, DM there on
Yes.
the other screen where you're big and everybody else is little.
Yes.
Our druid gets lost in the forest. That's all you see.
I know.
Okay.
He keeps
I'm looking
moving
for
himself
mushrooms and other
around. So,
things.
I mean,
looking for
he's in
snacks.
the forest. He's like, he's half the size of everyone else, so it's expected we're gonna lose him.
I'm
every
just
once in a
waiting
while.
for his
It
head to start
happens.
popping up in
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna need like a proportionally correct cup, so like really big, All right, so
You mean like this one?
Yeah, bigger, but yeah.
Uh,
Last week on Hearth and Hammer, our intrepid heroes, having successfully masked their escape from the Utalot smuggling warehouse, traveled further into the edges of the Savalier Wood. After finding an appropriate place to hide the stolen Hupperdook weapon parts, Pete used his druidcraft to magically camouflage the cart with vines and branches. The pilfered, pinned-up pixie was awakened by his use of natural magic, immediately drawing the attention of the party. Anwin Snowmist, the wild mount pixie, explained she was captured while exploring the ruins of Malesmere, deep in the Savalier Woods, by a Trebian family relic hunter. Her magical cage was later stolen by members of the Utalot family and kept hidden at their smuggling warehouse, where it was recovered by Pete. Rowan and Pete, distraught at seeing an intelligent creature caged, released Anwin. The freed Fae then asked to stay with the group for a while as part of her tribal journey. While the party concluded their business in Shady Creek Run the following day, Theoden and Jace finally conversed about their conflicted emotions. Jace expressed his now cool displeasure, but revealed he'd chosen to let his anger pass and forgive Theoden's rash actions. Theoden expressed his and the others' discomfort at Jace's reanimation spell, to which Jace hinted at a troubled past. An agreement was formed to consult the group on decisions with questionable consequences in the future. The Great Trader Union, guarding their investment, escorted the group and their goods to the city gates, and with a hefty bribe to the watchmen, saw the heroes on their way back to Hupperdook. And that's where we start tonight. So you all have begun the trek away from Shady Creek Run. It is a little ways behind you, and you can still see the gates. The figures on the wall are starting to become tiny specks, but you are slowly making your way into the pass, the Quanah Breach. So, first and foremost, you guys are on a wagon. You have 2 horses guiding the wagon. And I believe who was in the driver and passenger seat?
I think I was sitting up front on it. I think it was, who were the 2 of us that brought it? Wasn't it me and...
It was Jason Thurden.
Yeah, I think
But
it
then
was me and
we
Jason that brought
combined
it.
wagons, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys, you combined all of the goods from the smaller cart with the gun parts, the blasting powder, the barrels, and the handles, and the little clockwork triggers.
So we're on our way out of the city.
Yes.
Is that correct? Or we're still in the city?
No, you're
And
on your
we-
way out of the city.
Okay.
You made it basically the Grey Trader Union protecting their investments basically escorted you out of the city and bribed the Udalot guards to let you guys out. So that basically you didn't have any confrontation at the gate whatsoever. So
I'm just making notes. Back to Hupperdook.
yes, we need to get our heading into the
I
Quanah
imagine
Breach.
whenever we met up, Thurden and I jumped out to help load and move everything over. Then likely I would have just climbed in the back of the wagon with Chewie.
I probably would have jumped back up front.
Okay.
Just try to help keep watch and stuff while we're going.
I'm
I figure
probably
I'm a little bigger.
standing atop the wagon, wind blowing my hair,
Of course you are.
looking majestic,
Yes.
Yeah,
spinning the
that
swords.
sounds right.
Roll a performance check.
Gladly. Using the big boy here.
It's confusing because Rowan is actually bald.
No, he is long.
He's just
bald.
got like 3 wisps
This
blowing
is-
in the wind.
Well, you have not
Let's-
rolled a high perception at
let's be
all
honest.
on his hair.
The
So,
the first
Clearly, over my shoulder, you can see his hair.
yes, the
right
first
there.
figure that he created in on that website was him with his arms out Titanic style with the hair blowing in the wind.
Yep. That is a non-natural 20 for that performance.
How much fire do I have to use to bring that down?
So easily Rowan is balanced atop one of the barrels in the back and is putting on quite a display as you leave the city. So it's
I set Chewie up on the barrel where he
It's a
starts
feat.
rubbing against his legs.
Do I need to roll with disadvantage on acrobatics here because of
might.
the sneeze?
Thurden's just shaking his head at the whole thing going down.
I'm kicking the cat, trying to get.
doing that little shoot where you just kind of you don't kick but you're just gonna shove.
And he just says he loves you.
And at one point, he's just attached to my leg, like it's like swinging.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so where's everybody else? You guys in the back of the wagon?
I'd probably be trying to handle the horses.
I was gonna say when Pete
So
turns
Pete's
into
actually
a horse,
driving,
I'll probably
so-
just ride on top of
Yeah, I'm
Pete.
just shotgun.
So Pete's actually driving apparently.
Also just ride on top of Pete. Just kidding. I'll get in the back.
All right. So Rowan and Jace and Lee are in the back, and then Theoden and Pete are up front. Awesome. Well, you guys start making your way through the Quanah Breach, and you were pretty close last time, but you you are able to make your way through, remembering fairly well the direction that you're supposed to be going. Somebody roll a survival or an intelligence check. Two
You
of
don't
you.
want me rolling either of those.
I will roll survival.
And I roll with my bonuses with persuasion.
No.
Can I roll my strength,
I
my
think mine was
athletics
a-
modifier?
19. It was a 17. I'm looking at my modifiers right now.
Okay.
Yes,
I've got a-
19.
I've got a +3 for survival, so I guess I'll roll the other one.
Okay.
Ooh, that is an 18 plus 3, 21.
Very nice. All right, so easily enough, Pete, you are guiding the horses, and you're able to safely guide them through the roads and the ruts and sometimes rocky crags, but otherwise fairly large tracks that are going through the Quanah Breach here in the direction of the Empire. So. Roll a, let's see, two other people roll perception checks.
I'll roll one.
I'll roll one.
I don't add anything to it. So I got
It'll
a
be
19
17.
though.
Nice. Okay.
You beat
So-
me, and I have a +7.
I have a
Perfect.
+0. I rolled a 19.
So you guys are alert, aware. You are able to see fairly clearly here in the probably late morning at this point that you guys have been able to leave. Or no, excuse me. You guys are leaving actually later in the day because you guys slept. So actually, it's probably mid-afternoon at this point, and you guys just setting out. You are able to make your way, a good distance with the horses, and obviously you guys are not getting tired yourselves. But roll, let's see. Pete, go ahead and roll an animal handling check with advantage if anyone wants to help you out there.
I'll help him since I'm sitting next to him.
Okay. He hasn't got to roll this yet, so he's
Well, that was
excited.
disappointingly not as good as it would have been otherwise. But that's still an 18.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, again, after several hours of travel, you're still able to coax the horses, picking out the right path, and able to continue on into the journey here into the Quanah Breach. You're able to get probably, by your estimates, about halfway through before it starts. You can tell the sun has gone down below the edges of the rock canyon walls, and you are coming to a place where you are going to have to probably camp for the night before it gets too dangerous for the horses and the wagon to travel. So, you guys want to stop, or you want to try to keep going?
So as long as we're a good distance away from Shady Creek, we go ahead and stop here.
Yeah, boys, I believe it is getting a little bit late.
Aye.
Perhaps we should find a place to make camp.
I very well. I'm in favor of that idea.
All right.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I
Okay.
believe we will stop.
So you guys stop for the night. Somebody roll a survival check to find a place to camp.
I can get it.
You don't want the bard rolling survival.
Dude.
I'll say one of those two with the wisdom
the bard's
modifiers.
failed
Yeah, I
at
mean, I
surviving the
have a
rest of
good
the time.
bonus, but I still only got a 12.
That's better than me.
So 12
got-
and
A 4.
okay. So it with the cart, it's a little more difficult. You still find a pretty good flat, dry spot that you can pull the cart up against one of the larger boulders there, and you're able to pull it up close and to where it's at least guarded on one side. So you pull it up and you make camp for the night. What are you guys gonna go ahead and take take watch.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
I think
take
we'll
the
do
first
the
watch.
same system we normally do.
Okay.
Where I'll sleep the first 4, have 2 other people take watch, then I take the last half.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take the first 2 hours.
Perfect.
I'll take
All
the
right.
next 2.
All right, I'll get
So
you.
who's going
Jace
first?
Jace is still exhausted, so I'm probably not volunteering for watch
No.
tonight.
Me, no.
Not a good
I'll
idea.
do the first 2 hours, and then Rowan will do the second 2 hours, and then Lee will finish the night out for us.
Sure. And while it, like for flavor, it like Jace, it's obviously Jace would probably crash. Just for future reference, as long as you get in that 8-hour rest, as long as you get 6 hours, you would lose a point of exhaustion. So it would not stay on you. So
Okay.
I figure Colin's been doing the
flavor
horses
wise,
too, so.
yeah, you'd pass out and you'd probably sleep.
Right.
all night.
Yeah. He's out.
So. Okay.
Friends, it sounds
so-
like you got this covered. I'm going to go to sleep now. All right.
Boy.
First watch, give me a perception check.
18. I don't have anything to add to it, so I have no wisdom modifier.
I don't know why that made me chuckle, but I got to clean my
spit take
monitor.
That's great.
Am I second? Can we go ahead and roll?
Is it? Yeah. If hold on.
I got an
let's
18 for the first watch.
see. Okay. Everything seems to be pretty quiet. You are able to sit around and observe the moon finally coming over the edge of the cliff face, giving a little bit more light. But it comes to the end of your watch and everything is good. Second watch.
Go and wake Rowan up.
Okay.
Hey, walk up and just put one of my big sturdy dwarven boots just right into his rib cage to wake him up.
That was uncalled for.
You were saying something about the old ranger girl you were running around with in Hupperdook. I had to wake you up before you embarrassed yourself.
Who?
Your girlfriend that was running around in
I
Hupperdook.
don't have a who.
It's your watch. Get up before the monk wakes up.
Okay. Perception. That would be a 16.
Okay. All right. So you continue with your watch, and as you sit there, you hear something. And it's an owl that goes from some of the sparse trees to the next trees.
Ooh.
So, but otherwise, your watch is clear. So, your watch comes to an end, and Lee begins to stir at the end of his 4-hour meditation.
I make sure that he's awake after it. And I know he's trancing, so he's like, looks like he's awake, but I still kind of do like a. Just kind of. Hey, Lee.
I try to catch his hand as he goes to tap me.
Okay, roll a dexterity check.
It's going to be a 17.
And then
Do you
roll like a.
Do you
dex
try to?
Save.
I mean, only if you want to try to dodge it.
I don't wanna grab
Do you want
my
to try to
hand.
keep your hand out of his grasp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just straight dexterity, right? Nothing else?
That's a dex save for me, right?
Oh, dang.
Not 20.
Nice.
So he pulls it out
Yeah.
as easily gets it out of the way.
The fastest thing Thurden has ever seen is Lee's hand going up. And then magically he sees the next fastest thing he's ever seen. And that's a Rowan's hand now pulling away quicker.
Absolutely.
I'll stand up and pat him on the back and just kind of start doing a slow walk around camp.
Okay.
Just
I'm
add
already
insult
asleep.
to injury.
I'm already asleep.
Okay.
Falls asleep while I stand up. That is a 19 for perception.
All right. So, Lee, you sit there with the dying embers of the fire, and you're able to obviously see into the crisp night air here in the Quanah Breach in the mountains, if you will. But your watch goes by uneventful, and you start to see the pale light of the sun not coming into the breach here into the canyon, but you start to see the sky get just a little lighter, and slowly starts to get a lot lighter. So, your watch comes to a close, and everyone starts to wake up. It's still pretty early, but the sky above is lighter, even though the shadows are still kind of keeping you guys in darkness a little bit.
I slowly kind of wake up, and I'm assuming that Jace is already awake because he usually is. So maybe he already has some coffee going of some sort.
I do.
And I'm gonna go meet up with him and kind of bring my empty cup.
You sleep well, sir. Oh, of course. Here you go. It's brewed and ready for you.
Magic.
Brewed nice and strong this morning.
Thurden wakes up and he starts drinking off of his water skin. One of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them.
That, and it's too early for that.
It's too early for water.
You gave me some of that back before we left.
You just can't hold you water there, cleric. Ugh.
Is it swamp water?
It's awful. I tell you that.
It's fermented like a swamp.
The peat moss that he found.
Hey, but not your kind of peat, Pete.
We're ready. I think we could probably
Hey.
make it back to have.
Uh-oh.
Moving quickly.
He's
Okay.
back.
Well, maybe. Is it back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna help Pete up into the driver's seat again of the wagon. So we
Okay.
can start.
So same
Yeah.
as before.
Aye.
Do I need a roll
Alright.
performance for? No, I'm laying down on the top. I'm kind of like.
Lay it down.
Just hanging out.
It's much too early to perform right now.
And I'm kind of as we're kind of traveling, I'm looking at the gun and like playing with it in my hands, trying to
Okay.
get a good feel and
Yeah,
balance for it.
yeah. Which way is
And
that
every so
pointing?
often, Chewie just tries to walk up and lay on his chest and stuff. It's his new favorite game.
I see how far I can throw it off the wagon.
The gun?
Wait.
The
Yeah.
cat.
What? Oh, okay. I was
Chewie
like,
likes him.
We just got a gun
Brandon
for
was
you
like,
now. and-
why are you throwing that away?
I'm gonna
Hey,
get.
I mean, if you don't want it, I'm pretty sure Lee'll snatch it out of the air.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get some of the other gun parts and see if I can see how they go together with my high intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
What am I rolling? Dexterity? 'Cause I'm trying to, put stuff together.
Let's start with investigation.
Okay. Can I, Rowan? Do you wanna? Can I?
I would say
I'm looking
Can
at my
I
own gun.
look at the gun that Rowan has to see if I can?
I would say
I'm on top of the wagon, like the back area.
disadvantage
Oh.
because you are on a moving wagon and you're going off of what you can see, but you're not like physically inspecting it necessarily. You're just kind of like looking at it. And at this point, you're not constructing it, but more like trying to see how it fits together.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
So you wouldn't even with a success, you wouldn't necessarily get a finished gun.
Yeah.
It would be, you don't have the tools to put it together necessarily. You just kind of, it's like, like one of those things where it's like, you're supposed to glue it together, but you can't. So you just kind of like
Yeah.
put it together to kind of see how it fits and take it back apart.
So I'm gonna do the big and small for this one.
Okay, go for it.
11 and 12
Okay.
plus nothing.
So you're in the wagon and you're kind of, bouncing around a little bit and you're trying to look at the gun, and then you're like, it looks like it fits here, but you can kind of, you don't feel like some of the parts were finished enough. Like maybe the handle hasn't been finished out. Some of the grooves aren't actually finished in there. So you kind of get a sense for like approximately where things go, but you're not really sure. So,
Well,
but yeah.
After a while, are we on like draft horses, or what type of horses are they?
So you have, you do have a couple of, they're not draft horses. I mean, Shady Creek Run doesn't just have an abundance of draft horses, if you will. But, you have a couple of, mares that are pulling it. They're not the scrawniest animals you've ever seen, but they're not necessarily the best either.
Well, since my movement speed is probably faster than theirs, I'm gonna get a little kind of already like I'm kind of figuring out the gun, but not really. So I'm being a little frustrated. So I'm gonna get out and get off these slow-moving horses and just kind of work my way ahead of everybody a little bit and keep an eye out for anything that might be approaching from in front of us.
Sure.
How far are we off from
roll a
that
perception check. So at this point, you're probably. Oh, that was not good.
Like the pass or whatever it is, where I arm wrestled the guy.
Oh, from that gate, you're probably about half day's travel.
Okay.
So.
Got a 14 for perception.
Okay. So, you get a little bit of ways ahead, and, you see the road continues on through the breach here. You don't necessarily see anything that sticks out as far as, like, anything that you need to be alert for, or, there's nothing. Seems pretty clear.
Okay.
Okay. As I'm sitting there thinking about like what we've done here, what we found, and all that, I want to. Hey, Jace.
Yes. What can I do for you?
When we were in that facility, didn't you find something at the desk?
I did. Yes, I found some papers. You want to take a look at them? I couldn't really make sense of them.
Let's see if we can. Let's just look over those together.
Sure, of
I'd like
course.
to. Either I give him the help action for another investigation, or he gives me one to figure out exactly what these papers were.
Okay.
Do you have a higher?
No, +1.
That's what I have too. So
Okay. All right. Helps me get advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's helping you,
okay,
you get
well,
advantage.
17.
Okay. So you're looking at the papers, correct?
Mhm.
All right. So you're rifling through them, and you see some of it's in common, and it's fairly easy to read. You notice words here and there that are clearly like, the days of the week, like which days that, maybe a delivery has happened. You see a few items you recognize as general goods that are traded. There's like a manifest in there that's pretty plain to see. But you also see some pages. What languages do you guys speak? Or what
Common
languages
and
do you
Halfling.
understand? Common and Halfling?
Mm-hmm.
I've got
And
common,
Celestial.
Elvish, and Goblin.
And Goblin. Okay. All right. All right. Well, good. So there's some pages in there that you don't recognize. the language. Some heavy strokes and glyphs that just elude your understanding.
So this is some sort of
Yes.
manifest. One thing that our goal was to try to figure out who was smuggling things and who was partnering with Shady
Sure,
Creek
of course.
from Hupperdook.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these languages or some of the things in here might give us some names, because that was
Perhaps I don't really understand this part. I can't read it at all.
Roll
Can
an
you-
intelligence check for me. Both
Both
of
of
you
us?
can roll, or one with advantage.
You can roll it. I'll give you the help action.
oh boy. Okay, the first one's a 14. We'll go with the 14. 14.
Okay, so 14. You're pretty sure one of the pages you can't understand is similar to the manifest. So it looks like maybe it is a manifest as well, or at least some sort of list, but you don't understand what it says. You can't
We'll
read the
have to-
language.
When we bring this back, we'll have to figure out.
Perhaps one of the other guys might be able to read it. I'm not sure. The monk seems well traveled. Perhaps he would know
Hey.
what kind of language this is.
Can you guys read this? We'll have him just take a quick look at it.
Sir,
I'm just
I am
assuming-
steering the horses. I don't want to be raiding things and steering the horse unless you really want me to.
I'll put it like in front of.
I can only read Dwarvish and Common, so
Okay.
I
Does it
doubt
look
it's
familiar
either
to
of
you?
those.
I mean, Dwarvish is pretty common.
Right, that's what
And
I'm
not
saying.
as common as common.
It's
Common.
not. But I figured they would notice that it
what-
was probably
What
some-
other
something
languages
that's
do you guys speak?
That's it. for me.
I only speak Common and Elvish, but I figured I was going to be far enough ahead to kind of be out
Yeah,
of this
you're probably not there.
conversation.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
true,
mean-
true.
I've got common, druidic, and halfling, but I think those are already covered.
So no.
So
Okay, well,
yeah, none of you
we'll have
appear
make
to
sure
be
that-
able to read it.
It was worth a shot. Well, perhaps when we get back to Hupperdook, there'll be someone there who, we are working on the right side of the law there, so perhaps we can get some help with this.
Wiltix might have a connection in the guild or
Yes.
whatnot.
That was my thought as well, as we might be able to go to our resources at the guild, and surely someone can decipher what this says.
I'm going to pull out a pebble
Okay.
and I'm going to say, "Hey, let me know when you're
Yes.
able to talk." Put the pebble away.
I'm talking to you right now. Oh, you're on your spell phone. I got your spell device. Never mind.
Wait.
I actually shaved it down and painted it like a blue. It almost looks like a tooth, and I placed it.
The puns with this group are just like
where it just kind of sits. And I was like, no,
is during the week our DM is trying to like go through all this work to find a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our bard is just thinking of puns.
Just thinking of puns.
Like, the entire week just spent
as
making
a bard
puns.
should. As a bard
As
should.
a bard should. That's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you actually talking into that spellstone that you have?
Yeah, I was just more like when he's able to talk, it doesn't have to be
And that
Right
was
now,
the
but-
one that
Tanbar.
Tanbar. That's right.
Tanbar
Okay.
Lernus Liddell.
Yes, he did. He did give you that. Okay. So, what did you say again? Sorry.
I was just like, let me know when you're able to talk.
So,
Is that your girlfriend? Troubles in paradise, hey?
let's see.
No, it's actually our connection that led us here in the first place.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
when I almost died?
With your girlfriend?
I
Which time? Hey, would you pay attention to the road?
I'm paying attention to the road. I've still got ears.
Okay. So,
Thurden's pretty lost in thought at this moment. This whole trip back, he's just been thinking of his and Jace's conversation.
Okay. So you sent the message to him, right?
Mhm.
And he sends back
We've been trying to reach you about your wagon's extended warranty.
okay.
How did you get this number?
So so you hear back soon enough. 10 bar. It takes him about 10 minutes to respond. But you finally get back. Oh, it's good to hear from you. I can talk whenever you like, if you just give me a little time. However, these can only be used once a day. So, sometime tomorrow?
Sounds good.
You can't answer.
Oh, I guess I can't. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Sure.
It's a once a day thing. So
You have reached your data limit, sir.
I didn't know I had one message.
you
a
are
day.
now roaming.
You've run out of minutes.
You're roaming.
Yes.
It's like old Verizon.
That's right. That's right.
How do we put more minutes on this thing?
I'll call you nights and weekends. I promise.
Do you have the sending stones in your inventory?
I was
So-
checking
'cause it-
back
'cause
on
it
my
has
notes, but I
the-
haven't.
Yeah, I would
I don't
say
think
if
I
you want to
actually
add
put
the
a sending
sending stone to your
That would be
inventory,
helpful
that way
for
you
me.
know. So
Sending stone, one of them.
so yeah, so you get a response back that probably tomorrow will be the first time you can talk to him. So, but you know, from the last time you traveled, it was about 3 days from the end of the Quantum Breach to Hupperdook. So, okay, so go ahead and roll a perception check, Lee and Theoden.
Which dice to do?
Thurden doesn't know
gosh.
where he is.
Like I said, Thurden was in very deep thought thinking about his and Jace's conversation. And he rolled a 1.
Okay, all right,
Well, I rolled a natural 20.
perfect.
I had my thing kind of on the edge of the table, and the dice rolled. It hit it and started leaning off, and then it rolled back the other way and like set it, and it was on a natural 20.
Awesome. Yeah, so are you still staying a little bit ahead?
Yeah,
Like how far ahead are you staying? Like
I would say probably a half, like quarter to half mile.
okay, so you're trying to stay pretty
Yeah,
far ahead.
Somewhat in eyesight
So-
of them still.
Okay,
but
so eyesight probably wouldn't be half a mile,
Half mile's
and it
a
would
long
probably
ways.
half a mile's a pretty good distance here in the breach, because it's a winding, twisting.
Gotcha.
It's a winding and twisting pathway through this almost carved canyon through the mountains. So
Yelling distance if they yell
sure,
or something.
sure.
else.
So say, 100 yards maybe.
Yeah.
So, or 100 feet. I don't know why I said yards. Okay, so yeah, so you're staying up far enough ahead. Like I said, the Quantum Breach is an interesting canyon where there is stones and sparse trees and stuff like that. But you're fairly certain that it's smooth sailing ahead for the time being. So you guys travel on ahead. You're able to travel, early in the morning, and you make it to about lunchtime, and you start to see that the path is a little more traveled. And there's some other paths that are kind of come in and join the main one, and you're pretty certain that you're now headed on a pretty direct path to the last outpost of the Empire. So roll one more perception check for me. And Pete, roll an animal handling check for me.
These are the ones that matter the most.
Who do you want to roll the perception?
Probably Theoden, you can too. So Theoden and Lee, just because Lee's so far ahead and Theoden, you're up in the front.
Do I have
And 8.
advantage because of my previous natural 20?
No.
Okay, and that's a 9.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Hey. I also get a 9.
Always
All
going
right.
for the advantage.
The horses
So-
go
Doing
buck
great.
wild.
You said it's lunchtime, right? I'm like,
It is, lunchtime, and the horses are starting to get a little hungry. They kind of slow down a little bit and are wanting, you can tell they're kind of like trying to reach down and nibble at the sparse grass on the edge of the road as you're going through here.
Listen here. We haven't stopped yet. You're not the only ones that are hungry. We're almost back. If you can just wait till we get back, you'll have all the food and water you want, and you'll have shelter. So please just keep going. Believe me, I'm hungry too.
I
Let's
just rolled
go.
another. I just rolled
Come
another
on.
performance while he's doing this whole thing because I was like playing with my swords up there, and
Okay.
it was a natural 1. Just
Okay. All
Um,
right.
It's still an 8, but
So you stand up after laying
Yeah,
there
doing some
inspecting your
stretching.
gun for a little bit, and you go to stretch and do like your first flourish, and your foot catches on the edge of the barrel that you were going to stand on before. You fall out of the wagon, and you take
you kidding me?
45 points of falling
3
damage.
points of
Knocked
bludgeoning
prone and
damage.
unconscious.
3 points of bludgeoning damage as you trip sideways and you land poof, on the ground out there.
Lord Bod, get back in the wagon.
So
You all right? Guys, hold on just a minute.
Yes, there was a bee, and
I didn't see it.
it
Roll
was
a
It must
deception
quite
check.
flew right by me.
I think it was a magical bee. Don't worry, I took care of it.
roll,
fine.
a, roll a
Thank
deception
you.
check.
A perception or a persuasion?
Deception.
Deception. Oh, they said perception.
No.
That is a non-natural 20.
Okay. All right. You guys look around. There was a bee.
Oh man. Oh,
Might have been,
there it
might have
goes. I
been
thought
magical.
you got it.
As,
Erden doesn't even know any of this is going on.
I don't know that it looks all that magical. It looks like a normal bee, but hey, thank you for
as you
taking that one for the team.
say that, and you're climbing back into the wagon, you hear, "Where's a bee? Where? I don't see it." And
Oh,
you,
man, I
and
completely
picks,
forgot.
and Anwin like appears on your shoulder as you're dusting yourself off, Rowan, and she's like, looking around like she's about to tame some wild beast.
It's fine, Ann. Don't worry about it, Anwin. It's okay.
She,
It just kind of.
she like draws her sword really fast, like very like, I'll take care of it, kind of.
It's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, do I have like a scrape on my knee or something from this, or something from the fall?
yeah.
It's
She's
like bleeding a little. I'm like, just we're okay. We're okay now. Just have this scrape. But the bee's
like,
gone. Don't worry.
"Oh, okay, absolutely." And so she like flutters up and kind of, like flutters around you guys for a while, and just kind of hovers over the wagon. Every once in a while, she flies off to like a flower that's like underneath a tree, and as she approaches it, several more like open up, like they're just like greeting her as she flies nearby. She flies around and flies up in the sky for a minute and sees Lee far ahead, and you see her go kind of like spiraling in towards Lee, and then she disappears for a second. Lee, roll a perception check.
Ooh, that's gonna be 22.
Okay, so you're walking steadily along, and all of a sudden you hear this as it passes by you, and you hear a hee hee, but you don't see anything.
All right. I'm just gonna keep walking.
Okay, all right.
I mean, do I figure it's the pixie?
Yeah, you know it's her.
Okay.
So I mean, you're able to with a 21, you're able to Um, yeah, you're definitely able to tell it's her. Even though she's invisible, you could hear the flutter of her wings as she kind of skimmed by you and giggled as she did it. So, you see out in front of you like a few like dandelion, like little puffs, kind of go like as maybe she's like hitting them as she like goes by.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay, Lee, roll another perception check. You guys travel for another hour or so. It's getting into the early afternoon.
That's gonna be 17.
Okay. So before you are certain that it's before you see it, you start to see further off. You start to see the cliff faces start to kind of fall down, like they're coming to an end. And you see after about another half-hour travel, what looks like the top of the outpost tower, slowly coming kind of closer. So you keep going on ahead, or what do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep going until I'm just kind of out of like, I don't know, about half mile or so away from that outpost, and then I'm gonna wait for everybody else to catch up. And
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down. At this point, actually, I'm gonna kind of like speed up until it gets to that point. Once I
Okay.
get there, I'll sit down. I'm gonna get out some leather that I have and just start working the leather a little bit.
Okay, so just kind of mindlessly working it, practicing your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. All right, so Theoden, you and Pete you see, well, roll perception, or with advantage if one of you does it.
17.
Okay. You roll, you see Lee kind of speed up a little bit, but at this point, it's not like a sharp, winding
Didn't
path
take off
anymore.
sprinting or anything.
Yeah, he didn't take off sprinting. You just kind of see him kind of maybe go a little bit ahead. He looks like he's getting a little bit further ahead, but you're not losing sight of him at this point. You're able to watch him, and after a certain period of time, you see him stop, and it'll probably be 15 minutes or so for the cart to catch up, but he appears to have stopped up there. So,
Right.
so yeah, you start to catch up to him, and Lee, as you're sitting there, you do hear kind of the, and then you see Anwin stop on a rock next to you, and she appears and says, "Hey, Lee, what are we doing? Why have you stopped?"
I'm waiting for everybody else to catch up before we get to the outpost.
An outpost? Ooh, what kind of outpost is it? Is it dangerous?
I wouldn't say dangerous. A little bit of arm wrestling is the only trouble we ran into last time.
Arm wrestling. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you wrestle arms?
I couldn't tell you honestly.
Well, that's a
I'd
silly
much
concept.
I'd much rather spar than
Right?
see who can lift the most weight. But
I mean, why wouldn't you
that's
wrestle
just
the
me
whole
personally.
person, not just the arm?
Exactly.
That's silly. She kind of chuckles to
It's
herself.
something you'll have to ask Theoden about.
I may. Maybe he'll answer me this time.
Maybe.
She like does a little
He's
twirl.
a little rough, but you get used to him.
She kind of does a little twirl and stretches and says, "Oh, he'll come around. He has a good heart." She
I hope so.
flutters up and goes off back towards the cart.
I just
Okay.
continue working the leather.
So you guys see Anwin flutter up to you and circle around you, kind of zigging and zagging between all of you, and she says, "Hurry! Lee stopped! He sees the outpost." So,
Anwin, as we're getting ready to head up to the outpost, you being a pixie and all, you may want to be as quiet as possible. These people may not like that you're with us, and they might try to take you from us.
Oh, well, that's not a problem. I won't let them see me.
Sounds good.
But I appreciate your concern.
Excellent.
Wish I had that power.
What'd you say?
I wish Thurden had that power. He has the opposite of that.
Yes.
You
Everyone
chose
sees
you
it.
chose one thing and it wasn't stealth.
No. Not in the least bit.
He would not survive in the movie A Quiet Place. That is for sure. He'd be the first to go.
Yes.
Thurden's dead 5 seconds in.
All right, so you all catch up with Lee. Do you stop at this point and before moving on?
We should probably stop and talk about how we're gonna deal with it. We know they were a little hostile when we left,
Yeah,
even
so
though I paid them after overall.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, Pete,
it's
let's go ahead
more
and
of you
stop the
being
horses.
hostile, but
Let's stop the.
I'll
the
stop him, but
reins.
I don't know why we have to stop. Like we're almost there. We can just go.
Hey.
I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. I don't think another arm wrestle might work, and we don't want them to look into this wagon whatsoever.
I paid him the
Oh.
15 gold when we
Yeah,
went to go
you know,
through.
this is a good point. I kind of forgot what we had in the wagon. So,
Yep.
yes.
So we will. I say
Last
we
time
do
we
our
had no
best to just
cargo.
bribe them as we just head on through.
Well,
Right.
I'd be afraid. Like they know that we didn't want to pay them last time, so if we just outright pay them this time, is that more suspicious?
We'll
how
talk with them.
many cards
and
did
see
we
what
have?
we can do.
Or
We
how many
did pay
chests
them,
and
by
stuff
the
did
way.
we keep of the gun stuff?
So
We kept all of it. didn't we?
you
took all
kept
of it.
everything that you found. You loaded on a cart. It amounted to what was 3 kind of normal sized chests that were locked. One was of the like clockwork triggers mechanisms. One was of the handles, and one was of the barrels, like the gun barrels. Then you had 2 barrels of blasting powder,
Is there a way?
and they
we
weren't big
could-
barrels. They were, I mean, they're
Yeah.
probably like 3 feet tall.
Why don't we
But
just
they do
tell them,
have,
guys?
but they do have the Hupperdook H on it. on the
How big are
barrels.
the chests? Something that we'd be able to like kind of put strapped to each other and like lay over the back of a horse or something?
No, these
No,
would be
not at all.
no. These are like roll an intelligence check.
17.
Okay, so you would like these are large chests, like the kind of chests that you would find in a home or in someone's chambers that would be to keep all most of their belongings, like all their clothes, kind of things. So we're talking think your stereotypical pirate treasure chest for size kind of thing. Not quite the same, but they do have locks on them. Did you guys try to lock them back? I know you picked the locks to find out what was in them.
Why don't we just tell them? They're
Because-
soldiers from the Empire, right?
Then they might confiscate them. And I at
We're on the-
least want a couple of them to take
I have-
back to the.
I have 4 of each of them in my bag that I took out of the chests when we were in there. I have 4 barrels, 4 stocks, and 4 of the clockwork
I
pieces.
think honestly,
my
I think
bag.
I took some too.
Is it, all right. So out of character, is this something that would definitely? Because I know the times we've seen them, we've almost been a little unsure of what it was. Is it something that would definitely be recognizable?
Well, I
Like, I
think
don't
by
even know if
soldiers
Jace
it
would recognize
probably
them.
would be
Okay.
by soldiers that might have
I
seen
say-
them in battle.
Why don't we
I
just
say
let
we-
them know that we went and got back stolen merchandise from Hupperdook?
Yep,
That
we
was
were hired to bring
armaments.
this back from Hupperdook.
Right, there was
have
armaments
our
for
badges.
the Empire, and so we were on official business getting that stuff and bringing it back. So that
Now
the
you
Empire had
also
weapons.
have. That's not the only thing you're bringing back. You are
Right,
also bringing back, like in the wagon, you actually have more crates and barrels that are, that have the G from the Grey Trader Union on them, because again they were trying to establish trade with, with the Hearth and Hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
as
I'm
a
gonna-
traveling bard, these outposts, these sort of things, they talk with money. And so if this is the only outpost between here and Shady Creek Run, that means that whoever was taking these items also came through here. So the best thing for us to do is to just do our best to just pass on through. We'll pay a bribe if there's a bribe, but just let me handle the talking as we come through here. And I
Hey,
kind of
you handle the talking
I'm
I
and
gonna-
kind
the
of look at
paying.
Thurden.
I'm gonna take 2 of each gun parts out and put it in
I'll
my
let-
own bag.
However, we will not let them look into the wagon whatsoever.
We will not. Define we will not let them.
We will do our best to prevent them from not looking into the wagon because they may want to take these things for themselves.
So are we
All right,
willing
bud.
to
I'll
fight?
follow your lead.
We will do our best not to fight, and we'll.
At this
try our
point,
best
I'm gonna
to
pull
stop
my hammer off and just like lay it across my lap.
So,
No.
I
He
think
seems to think we're going
my
to fight,
vote
Bod.
is to, when we show up, allow Rowan to do the talking. If it comes down to it, and we cannot, if it comes down to fighting or letting them look, let them look, and just be honest with them and let them know that we are claiming, like Theoden said, claiming back stolen goods. That's my vote.
So we're not
Aye.
fighting, because I don't know if our entire party is on the same page on this issue.
We'll do our best
Are we going
not
to
fight.
fight them?
We'll do our
Cleric,
best not to fight. them.
intimidation doesn't mean I have to swing my hammer. I just
well,
want the
in
prying
my
eyes
experience, the hammer gets swung.
Not in back. Well, if they swing
Pete.
first.
Let's move on ahead. Get the horses.
All right.
All right. Let's go.
Don't destroy any
I'm gonna look
furniture,
over to
please.
Snow Mist.
Like that, and you can't
Is that her
replace
name?
it here.
Anwin, yeah, Snow Mist, yeah.
Do you have any sort of magic we could use to make the H's on these chests look like the G? Perhaps some minor illusion or
She
something.
kind of flutters down by the H and kind of looks at it, and she looks very contemplative. And then she flutters over to the G and is like, looks at it, kind of points at it. Not really.
Oh.
I mean, I could maybe like cover it with some vines, but that's about it. I could
Well,
put some
thank
nice
you
flowers on
anyways.
it.
Well, I do like flowers.
Okay, so it's settled. And she just goes,
No, okay, maybe.
and like you see like around the H,
Oh
it
my
just kind of like
God.
it covers the H, but that's about it. But it's like just some
All right,
like
friends.
really pretty
That
flowers
was on me.
that are.
That's on me.
Yes,
that's
attract
my
their
fault. My
attention
fault.
even more to that spot.
And she does it.
Maybe
on
they
all of
like
the-
flowers as well.
She does it on both barrels, because it's just the 2 barrels of blasting powder. It's like
have
the
H.
crates
Okay.
don't have that. Yeah.
Well, then the okay.
And then, like I said, you've got the other goods and stuff, and you also received that sealed letter for Brackle. So, okay, so you guys start
Well.
heading towards the outpost.
Hey.
All right. As you
Use
get
the battle
closer,
music.
what? Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, exactly. No. As you get closer, you do start to see there's a few people that look like they're already engaged with just some people on foot that look like they're already engaged with the guards when you're about probably half a mile off. Can't quite tell who they are or what they look like, but you see like some people there, and then they leave and they continue on through the outpost. And then as you start to approach, you start getting closer, and you see the guards come out, basically kind of in their, all right, we've got to intercept another cart. It's not threatening in any way, but it's definitely like we've got to block the road, go through our whole process, and make sure everything is, everything's okay.
And about what time is it?
You would know that it's about probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon at this point.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Let me find.
Seth is looking for his battle map right now.
Yeah.
No.
That's even more suspicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say that did not make any of us feel comfortable about that.
No, what I'm looking for is my guard
What are
captain.
Captain Tremaine.
Thank you. I have a notepad
just looking-
on my
yeah.
desk. Unfortunately, little sticky fingers come along and turn pages and do things. Well, now you can't even see
He
it.
disappeared.
Do things like this,
And
like
when-
draw on it. So
Seth's the real wizard in the party.
it's true.
He just gone. It's like
So,
magic.
Yes. So excuse me for a second while I thought I had this, but apparently I just wrote it down. I didn't put it in my OneNote. So, so yes, you are approaching the gate. There's lots of things happening. Anwin is fluttering around you. Rowan, are you performing on top of the?
I'm not performing. I'm ready to talk.
Okay.
More like sitting in a position of.
Yes. Captain Tremaine. Sorry.
Tremaine, yes.
Lame.
Yeah, I have a note here. The
Tremaine.
only notes I have on him: beat him in arm wrestling. Still gave him the 10 gold.
Yep.
That's pretty much
did.
the only note I have too.
You did, for sure. All right. So, you pull up to the gate, or to the, it's not like a strong barrier or anything, but it's something where there's a couple of the guards out there, and you do see the familiar Captain Tremaine step forward, and he gives you a once over as you're on this cart, and he says, "Ah, if it isn't my old friends."
Ah, Captain Tremaine, how are you?
Hey.
Hello, friend. We've missed you.
He kind of gives you a look like,
Yeah.
And he's
ready
like- I
just
for a
nod
rematch
to him.
with the dwarf here.
It's
I just nod to
surprising.
him. I don't say anything.
He eyes you, Theoden, and gives you a nod, and looks you all over and says, "Well, it's a wonder you've survived out in the wild for this last week or so, I guess it's been. And what might you be bringing back here?"
Official business from Hupperdook. We were hired to gather some supplies and bring them back for the old Hearth Hammer. I'm sure you've heard of this great and famous inn there in Hupperdook.
There are a lot of inns in Hupperdook, but
This is someone out
I
of character.
may have
what
heard
was
of it.
The official business was from someone high up in Hupperdook. I'm trying to scroll up to find who
Well,
put us.
Brackle is the one that hired you to go trade.
It was from the Hearth and Hammer.
Yeah,
Right,
it was from the Hearth and Hammer. So
But wasn't there
um,
someone else that we met with in the city that was?
No.
Me and Jace met with the leader of the city.
Yes.
But y'all decided that was, and she told us if we found any information about it
Yeah,
to
the
let the
Starosta,
guns,
yes.
Yeah.
let her know. But y'all said it wasn't important to do.
Yeah.
It seems important to do.
It wasn't important for the entire party to do.
Yeah.
Right.
We talked
yeah.
to her. She's our friend.
So
I think it was just me and Jace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I think it was just two of us.
So
The
we'll
rest of
just
us
bring
went
in
shopping.
these supplies straight back to Hupperdook.
Well, we wouldn't want you guys to be bringing anything dangerous into the Empire now. You don't have anything dangerous in here, do you?
Not anything more than a flaming halfling.
With that,
Roll initiative.
with that, one of the guards kind of has a worried look for a second behind him.
I'm not gonna explode here. It's a joke.
He doesn't usually explode.
I'm not gonna set anything on fire. I just want to go to sleep. I'm hungry. It's
He
lunchtime.
actually usually set things on fire.
He kind of eyes you suspiciously, but he doesn't do anything. Well, and Tremaine looks you up and down and says, well, there's a fee to leave the Empire. Bringing goods back in, depending on what kind of goods they are, could require some sort of taxation. So,
What's the taxes running these days?
well, for a wagon of this size, kind of considers. I'd say it's probably 50 gold.
50 gold, you say? Seems a bit high for some simple travelers like ourselves to be
Well,
on
you could
official
have
business
some
from Hupperdook.
right mighty expensive items here in this wagon, and we've got to make sure we cover all of the taxes.
You want to cover taxes if we're doing this on official business? Wouldn't that default to our employer? Can we bring you a note from our employer that will pay the taxes like a check?
Well, I'm
or
afraid it's an upfront payment.
something?
I'll go
We
ahead
can
and
get
pay it up
reimbursed
front.
later.
And I walk forward and
Yeah.
hand them 50 gold.
And he accepts it and says, I thank you kindly for your business and safe journeys. And as you hand it over, he hands it over to one of his guards behind him, and the 4 guards that had been there in front move out of the way, and 2 of them move this kind of wooden barricade. You know, it's the equivalent of like one of those road closed signs that they just kind of move out of the way, and you know, it's a bar across a highway is essentially all it is.
It's a wet
So-
floor sign. Let's be real.
Yeah, pretty much. So, with that, you all are able to go through the outpost.
Yeah, I really do think you should probably just ask Bracken to pay you back for that. Like, we're bringing his goods.
Sure.
I have no
Yeah,
issue
he
asking
might do
Bracken,
it.
but I was just trying to get through the outpost.
That's fair. Do you
Let's
think
do
there's
it.
actually taxes? Or do you think they pocketed
I
it?
don't think there's actually taxes, but
I think that
paying
Hupperdook
a
might
fake
be.
tax keeps them from going through our stuff, then I'm
I
willing
was
to
just
do it.
asking. I don't know. I've never been to this part of.
JC, you have such a
Where
pure
what?
mind. They are obviously pocketing for themselves. However, this outpost is still necessary to properly protect the people and alert the people if anything were to be coming through here. So,
So
Outpost
two of
good,
you
God's
roll-
corrupt.
2 of you roll
Yes.
a perception check.
Right. I got
I'll
it.
roll one.
Nope.
12.
Still handling the horses.
mine was a 23.
Much better.
Beak sauce.
23?
Yep.
Okay. You guys get about 500 feet or more from the outpost. You are almost out of earshot. And you're looking around. You haven't seen Anwin since you met at the rock before you went through.
Oh gosh.
And as you look back, you see Captain Tremaine talking to one of his guards. And all of the sudden, you see the form of Captain Tremaine. Shoo! And it looks like it just sits there, kind of fluttering like a bird or something. And then shoo, it's back to Captain Tremaine. And the guards have all like half drawn their swords and they're like looking around and they're like, you're like, what's going on?
Druid,
boy.
call your pet.
And then all of a sudden, and you hear like a thunk thunk as you assume Anwin dives into the wagon, laughing hysterically. And she's you still can't see her, but she's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. I turned him into a pigeon. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
You are right, cleric. Not all of us were willing to go without a fight.
Eowyn,
Oh,
who did
Lord.
you turn into a pigeon? I didn't see this. Who did you turn into a pigeon?
I think I was
Oh,
the one who
that-
saw it, so I'm definitely
That guy
laughing
with the
too,
fluffy
so.
hat.
Yeah. Like I would be kind of sitting on the wagon, probably looking backwards anyway. So, oh Lord.
And by this point, you're well a ways away. You know, like there's, kind of thing. And it was for probably 2 seconds. Kind of thing. Like she just did it to mess with them and kind of so.
So you can turn people into things, eh, Edwin?
She appears on a barrel next to you, Jace, and she's still chuckling and she's wiping tears away from her eyes, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I could do that. I could do that occasionally." So
Try anything, cleric, and your cat dies.
Well, if I have her turn you into a mouse, I think it might be the other way around.
she chuckles and she goes,
I'm mainly asking.
"Oh, I wouldn't turn you guys into anything."
We'll see.
Well, there might be a time that we ask you to. So
Oh,
let's
well,
just
if
remember
you
that.
want me to, sure. But
Not
right
right now.
now.
Not right now. Not right now.
she said, "But
But
you
it's good
guys
to
are
know
my
for
friends.
strategic purposes.
You guys helped rescue me, so I won't do anything
course.
like that." She said,
Would you be able to turn me into a dragon?
"Oh no, silly. That'd be way too hard."
Okay, well, just thought I'd ask.
What about a bearded dragon?
Austin, you could
Wait.
roll a Arcana check.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
I'm great
turn
at
us to-
Arcana. Let me tell you.
If you turn Rowan into a cat, what happens?
Nat
then?
20. No way.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're fairly certain she used polymorph.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, with that, you guys were able to continue on. It was kind of one of those things where, like, you're on the path and you're just cresting the hill away when you happen to see this. So, they don't come after you or anything. It's you start to go to kind of you're in the hills and there's sparse trees here and there and heading towards small pockets of trees and forest among the plains here in the northern part of the empire. You are back in the Dwendalian Empire.
and
And with that, let's
you're-
take a break. Oh, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Eowyn, you're able to make things disappear. Are you only able to make yourself disappear, or can you make other things vanish as well? Small
me.
things. Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious, because that pouch of like 50 gold that we just handed over. It would be nice for if it just vanished and happened to come back our way.
Do you want me
Which
to go
would be
get it?
interesting. No,
No,
it's
it's
fine.
kinda heavy,
Just a
though.
thought.
No, and
Just a thought.
Okay.
Yes, that's not necessary, but I agree that would be funny.
She goes, "Okay, well, I think I'm gonna get some food." And she like flutters off, and she kind of goes invisible as she goes into like the brush looking for, something. So, but with that, we'll take a break.
Right.
All right.
I think you're the only one streaming right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay,
believe
cool.
so. But that's okay. We're still gonna take a quick break. So anyone?
Yeah. No,
need to
I
get
was
drinks?
asking just to see how many people needed to mute each other.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone needs to besides myself. So that's all right. All right.
Very nice. I gotta get refilled.
We'll be
some
back
coffee.
shortly. And welcome to the stream, Villain. Glad you're here.
Billion. Leon?
Villian. I guess it is Villian. I don't think I ever noticed that. But hey, thanks for being here. We'll be right back. Yes.
If we get into a
Um,
fight, he still just stays on the thing dancing.
He's just gonna dance. Absolutely. Because all Austin wants to do is dance.
That's all he wants to do.
So
He's just
that's
up
why
there
you-
like doing
that's-
his defensive flourish, and if any arrows comes in, he just blocks it.
That's why you
It's natural.
never. That's why you never go AFK in D&D and let the DM run your character.
that's right.
I already know what's gonna happen as soon as we start. I got a question for him.
You got a question for?
Rowan,
Oh, okay.
as soon as we start.
You gonna
Since
ask-
he's not here, you're gonna ask him
Yeah.
something. Okay. Well, the dice will decide.
And so we just come up on. So if I remember, so we're leaving the outpost now, and that's where we stopped. We just got over the hill.
Yeah, we just got over the hill. So you're out of sight of the outpost. You're
And you
entering the rolling hills. So if you, I can send you an owlbear just to look at the map of.
I kind of know where we were at in the map thing, but about how many days was it between the outpost and Hupperdook?
It took you guys about 3 days. from
Okay,
the
that's what
outpost.
I thought. Okay.
So
I think I had like
full,
2.5 written down.
like a full solid 3 days, because I think you entered the outpost.
Because we camped right outside the outpost because it was nighttime when we got through the outpost. By the time
Yeah.
we got done.
Yeah, and then you camped again inside the corner breach before you got to the
Mhm.
gates. So, okay. Welcome back. Let me turn this music off. Welcome back. Our intrepid bard will be with us shortly. He is helping with Baby Bard. So, but we're gonna get started here just a little bit and hope that he should be back soon. So you guys are once again going through the rolling hills. There's small, clusters of trees here and there. It's definitely not the oppressive dense forest that was the Savalier Wood that was backed up to that Shady Creek Run was backed up to. There's, like I said, it's very much nicer. It's definitely warmer on this side of the mountains than it was on the north side. And you begin down a path. It's not really a road, but it's kind of a path that is leading south through the hills towards the small forest that is just north of Hupperdook, where there's a crossroads that goes through there. So, but it'll be a few days before you can get to that. So, you begin traveling through. You are all in your positions in the wagon. Anwin is once again flooding around. Every once in a while she comes back and she's got berries that she has found off in the woods, and she's munching on them or whatever, and comes back and flutters around here and there, and then sometimes disappears. And sometimes you see, even though she's probably invisible, you see flowers along like the left-hand side of the path just bloom as if something were flying by it, causing them to bloom and then close again. So, roll a Colin, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, Colin, roll an animal handling check. And then, Lee, at this point, I'd assume that you're either walking with the cart or you're back in the cart.
I'm back in the cart for now. I'm going to turn over to Rowan and say, Rowan, could I see that gun?
Oh, and you see that he's been basically holding it the whole time. He's like, I'd rather not right now. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about it at the moment, but perhaps later.
It'll just take a minute. You could watch me as I have it. I think you'll like what's going to come out of it.
You
Can I
know,
do a persuasion roll?
Sure, roll a persuasion.
Against my 0 against his 31. Unless you roll in that one, I probably won't get it.
What'd you roll?
A 7, which I'm pretty sure is his modifier.
Yeah. He's perhaps on the next
Not
stop.
even his modifier.
Yeah, his modifier's higher than that. If you had at least met that, I would have probably done it, but
Ooh, didn't even
So-
roll his modifier.
yeah.
What is this modifier? No, I don't know.
10.
Oh God, it's a 10.
Yeah.
I know. I
He's
went over
got
to
that
check
persuasion.
too. Goodness.
He's got
It's a
that
12 on
persuasion.
my
advantage.
animal handling.
Yeah. He's very persuasive. So. And he has advantage.
Yeah,
So. With certain things.
he just needs
Um,
more HP and a better armor.
Yeah. So. Okay. So you guys continue on, and Pete, did you roll animal
It
handling?
was a 12.
Okay.
It was a 6.
Simple
with my
enough. You're on a fairly straight path at the moment. You only really have to kind of turn to avoid, clusters of trees or maybe the occasional large boulder as you kind of go between these rolling hills. So, and give me a perception check, Theoden and Jace.
Oh,
Hey, Rowan, while you were gone, you
17.
went ahead and gave me your weapon.
I did.
told him to
That's
keep
not-
it as long as he wants.
Nope.
We rolled a persuasion check on it.
Yeah, and I probably got a nat 20 on that as well. So
No.
No, but I
It was a
didn't
nat
even
one.
make your modifier.
I didn't-
rolled
I
less
didn't-
than your modifier.
Yeah, so I didn't even. So
so you rolled below a 10.
yes.
Yeah.
He rolled a
Yeah.
7. He's like, unless
Jace, what was your roll?
17.
17. Okay. Simple enough. You guys continue on going around trees and over hills, and at this point, you're getting closer to dusk as you had exited the Quantum Breach about mid-afternoon. So you find, it's getting darker, but it's you're able to travel a little bit further because you're not in between these, large canyon walls. So you have a little bit more light. Somebody roll a survival check to try to find a place. If you're going to camp or if you're going to keep going, then we can do that too.
try to push as much out of the day as we can.
So you guys want me to roll for survival?
I can roll one, and me and Rowan.
Okay, go for it.
For it.
And
Lee dropped his die.
That's going to be a 14.
Okay.
take that one.
You're able to find, as the road kind of goes through this small gathering of trees, you're able to find a relatively, nice spot. The road's a little wider there within the trees. Like maybe there was kind of a camp in the past, and it's not like too enclosed, but it's also guarded against first glance. So it's a pretty decent spot. So you guys could stop there for the night, if you so choose.
I'm fine with that.
I guess someone's
This
going
looks
to
like a
tell
great
me
spot,
that they
guys.
found this place that.
I was gonna say,
Looks
I'm
good,
waiting
so-
on the people who actually seen it.
we
Let's
found
stop
this
here.
place that we can stop this wagon for the night. I
Sure, this
think.
looks like a great place.
Are you sure the horses and everything can fit through here?
Yes.
You're on a track. It's not like a highway, but it's like a track or kind of like a beaten road. Very, very loose term there, but it's kind of a road. So yeah, you're going between the trees. There's like that's where the track goes. So
All right. Well, if I'll pull the horses in if someone wants to cover our tracks since we're going just off in case anyone's looking or trying to cause mischief, maybe we can just hide out a little bit.
Okay.
I'll try to hide the
Yes.
tracks.
Splendid
Roll
idea.
a survival check.
I'll
I made
supervise
more
and help him.
tracks. I got a 2 + 2, so 4.
You made more tracks. I mean, you think that you covered the tracks pretty well.
Can I see if I see him
Roll bad
do a
on
terrible
survival,
job
not
at this?
intelligence.
Since I have traveled and hidden on trails before, I want to see how horrible this is.
I mean, I don't know. Or I think were you still in the back of the cart?
I
What's
thought
your
I
passive
did-
perception?
I just rolled survival to be able to find the place.
Oh,
So
true,
just
true. So you found the place, but then he was rolling survival because he was trying to cover like wagon tracks and stuff and horse
My
hoof
passive
prints in the back.
perception,
So
15.
15.
15. Yeah, you notice that Lee is doing a great job covering the horse hoof prints. He, however, is leaving his own set of footprints as he is following behind the cart, going along. So
Like,
we'll say
he's
that
wiping
you're
it in
able
front
to,
of his steps. So,
Yes.
like, as he's
Yeah.
going, he's
instead
still
of
making steps
behind,
behind
moving
him.
it. Yeah.
It's like cutting a limb from the wrong side as you sit on it.
Right,
Yep.
right, exactly. So, you're able to help him do it a little bit better, kind of hide his tracks a little bit. So, okay, so you guys stopped for the night.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys try to make camp, and then is there anything anybody wants to do?
Yeah, I'd like to pull Pete aside, have a quick conversation with him before we all start deciding, to bunk down for the night.
Okay.
Hey, Halfling.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
Go on.
you seem like a rather faith-filled man. I'm not really understanding where your faith lies. What exactly is the druid god? What do you pray to?
It's not necessarily a god so much as just the energy of life itself. At least that's what I was kind of taught in my clan. I'm not sure if there was something. Again, I'm fairly new to this. Like I've
Aye.
got the abilities that I have, and I kind of left. I wasn't a great student. I didn't really fit in into most of the subclasses of druid. I was just I found my way and was kind of sent on my way.
I noticed you seem to do a lot with fire. Is that are you like one of those druids that just specialize in one element, or?
Yeah, funny enough, this was kind of the only thing that I could do. I wasn't really great at shape shifting or proficient in different circles of druids, but it was really the fire and kind of stroke of luck that I was able to join the circle of wildfire. And
Right.
however that works, that's it's through those abilities that I have the flame of resurrection and death, or life and power.
So you seem pretty devout to your care of life in general, and seem pretty upset when death finds us knocking at our door.
Well, when you watch something so close to your home on fire, when you think and you worry that your entire hometown could be taken by this, and you worry that the life and the forest that you've grown up around, that you've grown to love, is going to be gone forever, it kind of just makes you more appreciative that it's there. So I had luck. That was all happening, and I happened to find a fire spirit that helped me take care of that issue. It's what bonded to me. My familiar that I'm able to summon. That's actually just a fire spirit that I've found and made friends with. Yeah, it's what I found and made friends with in my hometown. It's what helped me rescue different kinds of animals and things from that while we worked on putting it out. So it's more just that I want to make sure that the beauty that I remember growing up around is spread to other places, because I've also seen what industry can do, and I think it's a hideous and heinous thing to come and rip Mother Nature out from where she was planted first and instill your own, sort of devices and governments and those kinds of things. There needs to be a balance.
Hey. All right. Thanks for your time, Druid. I just have some questions swirling in my head and just wanted to run some stuff by another person. I appreciate it.
Yeah, are you all right? Is there anything that you?
I'm good. Just have my own questions about things and kind of circumventing the knowledge that's out in this group here. We seem like we're from pretty different areas and pretty different backgrounds. So I know knowledge is a very important thing to have, and I know I would feel like the monk would agree with me there. So I just questions, just trying to get to know you guys and maybe discover some things about myself at the same time.
No, certainly. I'm not exactly excited about how our encounter went back at that warehouse. I'm not exactly happy with the actions that you took in your own hands, but I suppose if you need me to talk to you, or if you need someone to help maybe figure out some of what you're muddling through, I'd be more than happy to do that.
And just between me and you, Druid, understand that I wouldn't have taken a life if it didn't put their own life in jeopardy.
It'll take some time to wrap my head around, but
very well. Can't blame you for that. Let's get some victuals and get some sleep. How about that?
You want to help me with the horses?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm gonna help them go ahead and unattach the horses so they can, you'll get that off their back and kind of be tied up to a tree and
okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Graze and whatnot. He can show me how to feed them and stuff like that.
Sure, absolutely. You guys are able to do that. So while you guys are doing that, anybody else doing anything at the moment?
Yes, I'm gonna go to Rowan.
Okay.
Rowan.
Again?
So I was thinking of something for the gun that I would be able to make. For lack of a better term, I something like a sheath, maybe, something to hold it, like a holder or holder or something like that.
That's great.
I was wondering, though, I have some leather here. I just need to see the gun maybe while you sleep, and I can trace out and get a design out for this. It's going to be something that you could kind of go on your arm and then hang down to the side that you could keep under your coat. That way, while we're walking through Hupperdook or something like that, nobody is alarmed.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. If I wake up and you have run off with this, we will hunt you down. I'm trusting you.
You'd have to find me first or catch me. Y'all move pretty slow.
All
But
right, so
I will not run off with it.
I have this rope that I'll tie to you as I sleep.
He's just gonna untie it.
All right, I'll allow this to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty hesitant and to allow you to have the gun. But if it's,
I mean, roll if you want to roll an insight check.
Yeah, I want to see if he's genuine.
Okay.
Inside 17.
Okay. Lee?
Yeah, I'm. My plan is to make a holster for it, as far as you know.
Okay.
You're fairly
I mean,
confident.
I didn't roll against
I
it.
love how he throws that as far as you know.
As far as you know.
Right, yeah,
That's his DM trying to pull through there. He sent me a
I'm
picture
trying to
in
make a holster
Discord.
for it.
He's intent on making you an underarm holster for this gun. So
He's like, as far as you know.
far as you
Yeah,
know.
now Rowan says, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to give it to him now.
So what you're saying is that I would be able to conceal it and carry it at the same time.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, something of like a
concept.
conceal and carry.
Oh,
This
What the
group, I'm
concept
telling
this
you
is.
guys.
Wow. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm already like adjusting the gun, figuring out how to load the bullets, unloading it. I'm more like just kind of training with how this gun works from what I've seen it used on my friends and me in the past.
Yeah, so you go ahead and let him have it as you guys get ready for first watch.
It'll be after, so he's
That's
got
true.
it
That's true.
after his
So,
trance.
yeah.
So during this time, I'm more
Okay.
spending
Um,
time training.
Jace, you do anything?
I've probably just sat down, given Chewie some food
Okay.
out of the pack.
Out of the pack. Okay. Roll an perception or investigation check.
It'd be an 11.
Okay. You notice there's a wrapped bundle in your pack.
This is odd. Don't remember this being in here. And I
pull it out?
pull it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Start
pull it
to wrap
out and you realize that it is the icon of Ray.
Mm.
So that somehow it
And it
ended up in your bag.
is third in around where I can see him.
He's over working on the horses with Pete at the moment.
Okay. At that point, I get up and I'll tuck it. I'll wrap it back up, nice and secure. Put it back in my pack, and I'll walk over by and say thank you for that. It was very kind.
Do you say anything back? Acknowledge anything?
Just give him. No, I don't.
Okay.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
To be fair, I was just gonna
I
nod
thought
at
about
him,
making
but
you
he
roll
was
to
too
see
far
if you
away.
even remembered that you did it. Theoden was like, "What?"
Oh no. Nah, third definitely knew. It's been on his mind.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Okay, all right. So, as you're heading back from saying this to Theoden, you see Anwin zooming around, where you're at, and she kind of goes over to a tree that's close to the wagon that's kind of has like a branch like overleaning it just a little bit, and on the end of it there, you see she kind of like uses her hands and kind of does something, and it just kind of like almost creates this little hammock with some of the leaves. They kind of look like they kind of stitch together, and she lays down in it, and looks like she's getting ready to go to sleep. So she's like, "All right, good night."
All right. I know everyone let me sleep last night, so I don't mind to take first watch tonight.
I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna be easier for Austin to take second watch, so he can pass the gun off after he goes to.
Oh, sure. I mean, I can take second watch too.
Yeah.
If
All right, so
if he's
Jace,
not-
Jace on first watch, then Rowan, then Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be up during first watch, but I'm not gonna be on watch. I'm just kind of in my own thoughts at the moment after having a conversation with Pete.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like sitting there off to the side, just contemplating some things.
Awesome. All right, so then Jace, as you all bed down for the night, go ahead and roll a perception check.
It'll be a 24.
Okay. Yeah, you sit there as everyone goes to sleep. You see the last bit of sunlight that had been kind of hitting the sky overhead fades, and it goes completely dark, and you start seeing the stars come out. You start seeing the moon and everything, and it's peaceful. You didn't realize how much of a sense of kind of on guard you felt being outside of the Empire and in kind of just such a lawless town. For as much as you have that desire to spread spread light to all corners of Exandria, you have a little bit more peace, that you're in a safer place. So, and after a few hours, your watch comes to a close, and go wake Rowan up.
Yeah. Rowan, I believe it's your turn to take watch. I'm going to call it sleep.
As I see him stirring Rowan, I go ahead and just slip into my slumber, just where I was at, sitting up, just kind of lean back on a tree and just doze off there.
Okay. So you're keeping watch. You were kind of staying up for that first watch.
Yeah, just so I can make sure I get enough time in to sleep. But I was just up for those first couple hours, just contemplating, what me and Pete had talked about, what me and Jace had talked about, kind of just the things that are weighing on Thurston's mind at the moment.
Okay, sure. All right, so you go to sleep, and Rowan?
When Jace wakes me up, I'm probably just, Jace, are you going to have coffee ready again in the morning?
And yes, I'll have coffee ready. In fact, over there where I'm sitting, there's about 3/4 of a cup left. If
Oh yes, thank you.
Yes, my pleasure.
Okay. All right. So a perception check.
14 plus 5, 19.
Okay. You sit there through the, coming close to the midnight hour, and everything seems to be pretty quiet. You don't really see or hear a whole lot. One time you think you hear something small going through the underbrush, but it's, seems like it's just some sort of rodent or small creature. So, but yeah, you have a pretty peaceful, pretty peaceful watch.
Awesome. And then I guess I'll see Lee sleeping, and this time I poke him with a stick, because last time he tried to grab my finger. I know. Hey, Lee.
I'll wake
Wake
up.
up.
Yes.
Now don't run off with this. And hand him
So
again.
here, and I hand him a needle.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll
So,
let you hold on to this while I work with the gun.
I start sewing. I'm just kidding.
I mean, are you handing it to him as a needle?
I'm handing it to him as the dagger.
As the dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say, because it can
Turn
magically
into a needle,
shrink
yeah.
to an actual needle. So.
I was looking at it too. I was hoping that I could use the needle and still do damage with it, but it does say you have to do it with the dagger. It only does damages, or it only does the damage like that.
Right.
Plus 1 damage as a dagger. So it's just a regular needle.
So.
What was the command word? Do I know it? Is there a command word?
To do mending?
change? No, to change it from
go
needle
back
to...
and forth. I'm pretty sure there is.
I think he came up with the command word when he spent time with it that first time.
I never did come up with a command word, but it does say there's a command word.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I wouldn't know it. I was just wondering if I would accidentally say it. It might, like if it was a common word. And just like, oh no, I can't find your dagger, but I did find this needle.
Yenra.
Is
Keeps going back and forth while he's sleeping. Just keeps going.
Please.
Dagger, needle.
It just keeps going.
Is Yenra
Lee
the-
notices this and
the
knows
ranger
everything
chief
that he's
back?
dreaming about.
Yeah, she's the elf bounty
Oh,
hunter.
okay. That's right.
Your girlfriend.
You're asleep. Third. Okay, I'm gonna get to you.
I'm gonna
Alright.
say the command word is fix. Ooh, wait, does it always do it on the command word? It does. I have to say something that's not as common to use, or else I'll have
Yeah. Hey,
It's
can you
fine.
fix this? Bloop. And you.
I mean, would you
Your
would you
pa-
have it in common or would you have it in Elvish?
I would probably have
Ooh.
it in Elvish.
I was gonna say.
Granted,
just put it
Rowan,
in
don't you know Elvish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay, so Lee, it is your watch. Go ahead and roll. Roll once and then roll a second time, since you're technically taking 2 watches.
Okay. I'm going to be working on the
On the
holster,
leather,
so do
okay.
those need to be at disadvantage?
I would say probably so.
Okay. I rolled a 3 and 6 to start off with, so it probably isn't going to get worse than that. But.
Okay. So the first one you rolled.
So with my modifier, they were 8 and 11.
Okay. So that for that first one, you're just excited by this gun that Rowan has handed you, and finally getting to hold it up close and study it, and you are just kind of giddy at the knowledge that you are ready to do, and so you begin to take a few notes here and there, and you start to kind of sketch out in paper, and maybe kind of like gently on the leather to see like, oh, maybe if I cut it here. So you're just solidly focusing on this leatherworking project you've set before yourself. As you work through that, time passes pretty swiftly, and so you get to what would be the last remaining hours of night, and you realize you haven't been paying attention as much. You kind of start to glance up every once in a while, and you're fairly certain that everything out there is asleep and whatnot. Seems pretty quiet. So, as the morning light starts to come in to this thicket, everyone starts to awake, refreshed, and ready for the next day.
As soon as I see Rowan get up, I'm going to go over to him and hand him the gun. Thank you for...
Did you make the whole thing?
The holder? I'm still working on it. I've got... did I get all the part I needed for... Like, do I need the gun for any more of it, or did I get
you
all
probably
the...
really just got measurements at this point.
Okay.
And so probably recorded them down. You would not necessarily... you wouldn't necessarily have the tools at the moment to begin the project.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got the leather, and you're kind of like maybe working a small section of it, making it supple, getting it ready to be worked. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't necessarily have... like I said, for during that 4 hours, you probably would have just been making measurements, coming up with different design things you're going to try to do, and that's not counting if you're making the belt, like just the holster part itself too.
Yeah. Do I need the gun for any more of it, though, or did I get, like...
You should have enough measurements for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll say you got that. So, okay. So as you awaken, you do see with the dawn light, you see let's see. You see Anwin coming back from what looks like a successful berry hunt somewhere off in the bushes, and she's eating a few berries, getting ready for the day as she sits on the edge of the cart. Anything anybody wants to do before you head off?
Just loading up.
I would have woken up early and prayed and yes, made coffee. But
I would have drank some of that coffee. that he had made.
Yes.
Okay. So you drink some
So I can
coffee.
click long rest to help heal my
You should probably click long rest. So,
for that scrape on my knee.
yes. Well, you were trying to show off. So
That's what you get.
I need all the hit points, guys. I cannot go.
You can't
start
do
again.
it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I was say
that's
you
true.
can't be lacking
need
any hit
all-
points.
I mean,
yeah, it's rough for you.
let's be honest though, Rowan, you would have had recovered those hit points if you used your necklace during your watch. So, because you were
That's true.
drinking some coffee. So,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I left you that coffee.
so, so you take off once again. Same seating arrangement in the cart.
I'm gonna move forward this time, and once again, just stay about 200-300 feet ahead of everybody. But I'm not gonna go further than that for now.
Okay, so a few hundred feet away, trying to stay within shouting distance or so.
Yeah.
But just kind of looking around. Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Natural 20 again.
Very nice. So yeah, you going ahead, looking around. Again, you are traveling on this track that is one of several that probably leads from the outpost to the Glory Run Road, which is, as you know, the road that runs kind of east-west before it curves south and goes towards Hupperdook and the Chrisvale Thicket. So, being on this track, you see signs of past travelers. Occasional, wheel ruts in the path, and the occasional footprints from maybe when it was muddy or something. But nothing out of the ordinary.
I want to retcon something. I did get the dagger from Rowan, right? You did give it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys traded it back. So
Okay. I know I gave him the gun, but I couldn't remember if he said he gave me the dagger back.
he didn't, but
Okay.
yeah. So you have that. So okay, Colin, go ahead and make an animal handling check for the day.
Please do better than last time. Okay, good. That's a, what, 21?
21. All right,
15
so
plus 6.
Pete, he after the special care that you and Theoden gave the horses last night, you definitely brushed them with some tall grass from around the area, and you talked to them and spoke softly, and so they seem rested and ready to go, and you guys actually get a fair bit of extra speed off of it this morning, and so you cut about a quarter of a day off your travel. So
Oh, Vernon, thank you for the help. It seems the horses are feeling better, and I want to say thank you to the whole party for just never asking me to stay up for a night shift. I'm really enjoying my full nights of sleep.
his full 8 hours.
Your time's coming.
It's fine. Just let me know when. For now, I'm enjoying it.
Fair enough.
The way Jay said that.
I know,
Your
right?
time's coming.
While we've been traveling, I've been seeing all sorts of dirt. You happen to collect any dirt? I know
You
how
haven't
much
seen. I mean, we've passed through here once before.
I mean,
Did you?
There's a few different regions of different kinds of dirt, but for the most part, whatever's in my shoes at night, that's just what I keep.
So cute.
Okay.
Interesting.
If we stop at some like really special places, I always make sure to just keep some. I'm not gonna remember, but yes, habitually.
Pete would remember.
Pete
Pete would
remembers.
remember. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, so you guys keep going throughout the morning, getting closer to lunchtime. Theoden, go ahead and roll perception for us. And Jace.
9.
Be 21.
Okay. So, Jace, you're riding in the cart, and what do you think? Are you sitting up on like a barrel, or like on some crates or a chest, or are you like sitting down in it, kind of like?
Yeah, at
out
this
of the-
point, I'm probably like leaned back with my feet up, kind of more relaxing at this point. We've been traveling for 3 days, but just
Sure.
kind of scanning the horizon, looking at all the cool stuff around.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So you clearly able to see, for a little distance, you guys kind of enter a very clear area of these rolling hills as you go, and you can see for a good couple miles, and you guys are, Lee's off, a few hundred feet in front of you guys. You're just kind of heading on this track, and you're making good time. Pete is definitely doing well with the horses. So I say, Pete, if you want to roll another animal handling check I'll say with advantage, since you were able to coax so much out of them earlier.
Oh.
With how fast we're moving, how good is my hair looking in the wind when I'm?
Oh, good Lord!
I mean, there's a stronger breeze here in these rolling hills. There's not like there's not the canyon walls of the Quantum Breach to block the wind, so it's pretty glorious.
Rustling.
It's pretty glorious.
That was a 19 on this animal handling roll.
Yes. Okay, yeah, you're able to continue on coaxing them at about the same pace, and so you've cut a little bit more time off as you make your way through this open section of the Marrow Valley here. So, do you guys have anything you want to do? Do you want to stop for lunch?
Is this valley
You could probably eat while you go.
There was an area of mountains that looked like something had like blasted through the mountains. Is this that same?
So
region?
the Quantum Breach was it.
Okay.
That was the canyon that goes through the mountains from the Marrow Valley, which is inside of the Empire, to outside of the Empire, which is where Shady Creek Run was, on the edge of the Savalier Wood. And the Quantum Breach was a series of what looked like almost like somebody carved troughs through the mountains with like a huge axe or something.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, well, never mind then.
And it was kind of a winding, twisting canyon, so it took you about a day to get through. So, but yeah, you guys continue on. Take a small repast as you continue on with your journey, and stopping at maybe a small stream for the horses to have some water. But you continue on. Lee and Rowan, go ahead and roll perception checks.
That's cocked. And
14.
that's like across the room, so I'll just get another dice. That's awesome. There we go. 21.
Okay. Again, you guys, this is a pretty clear area. You can have pretty far visibility, especially for this part of the day. But you're able to continue on into the afternoon, and it's pretty clear. It doesn't seem to be anything in sight. You see the occasional, flora and fauna that are out there, like maybe some, rabbits and coyotes, kind of off, at a distance, where they keep out of sight for the most part. But no bloodthirsty rabbits, though.
No crazy ones we got to worry about.
No crazy ones. All right. So as you all travel into the afternoon, roll another animal handling check.
I feel like this one's gonna go bad no matter what I do. 11.
Okay. So the horses did really well at the beginning of the day, but at this point they've kind of slowed down just to their normal steady pace. They're not slowing down, too slow, but they're definitely, they've expended their extra energy for the day and are just going along at their normal pace now. Jace, roll another perception check for me.
Okay. That'll be 15.
Okay. You notice as you are traveling this afternoon that you do see what looks like some clouds that start to come in. Looks like a possible rain or at least a cloud cover kind of heading your direction as you get closer to dusk for the evening. So you do feel kind of a cooler breeze as it comes through, but nothing too bad as of yet. As it does tend to wind, as you do get towards the end of the day, however, you do realize that it does look like rain is upon you, but it's not actually a storm so much as it just starts to kind of release, a good rain. So, and it's just something that you're able to weather fairly easily. But as the evening comes to a close and it's still kind of raining and drizzling and then maybe coming back with some more rain, you guys look for some place to take shelter for the night. Who would like to roll a survival check for that?
Not 30.
Take it. All right. Oh, that'll be a 22.
Okay, 22. All right, so yeah, you're able to find another, like I said, these rolling hills. There's trees and rocks every once in a while. You're able to find a nice cluster of trees to kind of take shelter in for the evening. So you wheel the wagon in through there and are able to make camp. So would anyone like to do anything this evening?
I know we've just sat down and made some camp again, but does anyone remember how much further we have till Hupperdook? I'm kind of tired of being on this wagon for so much time.
I feel like we're getting close, but I've felt
We've
that last
made
2
a
days.
fair
Intelligence
distance,
check.
but yeah, not my strong suit.
I don't think we
Yeah,
have
definitely
somebody
not
who is
mine.
the strong
It's-
suit.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
I rolled a
much.
3.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
I have
so-
no idea where we are.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You seem to remember it taking a few days, but 3, 4, not quite sure. So
Honestly, I thought we were getting close to the last 2 days, so I don't know.
I feel like this is close to our last checkpoint, but then again, I did think our last checkpoint would be the last checkpoint.
That's fair.
Did it?
Who's navigating?
Did it
Do
not
we even
take
know if we're
us
going
like?
the right direction?
I mean, we're following the trail and following the horses. You know,
All right. Well,
the horses know.
suppose there's only one trail.
You
You're
would
right.
think the horses would be able to get us there faster than it was on foot.
Well, we also have cargo this time.
Uh,
The horses aren't going at full speed.
maybe some sort of horse master? I thought that was Pete.
I have, like, if I was to
Alright.
rate my knowledge on horses, I would have a +2 to it.
Horse knowledge.
okay, all right.
I love
All
that
right,
the DM's like, dang, okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna rate my horse now.
Sure. We'll just assign arbitrary numbers to things.
Well, no, I
Yeah,
got a +2 in animal handling. If that was the thing that we would rate in,
All right,
you know.
perfect. Okay, so you guys are getting ready for the evening's rest. Same. Who's taking first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Theoden, roll a perception check. Oh, also
7.
7. Awesome. Anwin also definitely was, fluttering around, and she kind of did the same thing, but this time instead of like a tree branch up in the top, she kind of like took some leaves and went and is kind of like, up under maybe like where one of the tarps on the wagon is kind of holding some stuff down.
I might go try to talk with Anlin before we
Okay.
crash.
Sure.
And just, I want to ask her. I couldn't remember Anlin, how long? Oh, sorry to disturb you, Anlin. How
She's just
long
kind of
were
like,
you-
like fluffing and like
Yeah.
taking her, leaves, and she's like arranging them. Just how long what?
How long were you in that pool?
Oh. I don't know. Something about it. It had some sort of magic that made me just sleep. I only remember it was really hazy. I only remember bits and pieces, and I know there was at least 2 or 3 times I remember waking up and was being moved, but I don't really remember much past that. So I don't really know how long it had been. I wouldn't think it would be that long. But then again, I don't know. I mean, time kind of goes differently here than it does in the Fae. And in the Fae, we don't really mark passage of time as much.
So, are you people regularly imprisoned here? Or is that something that...
Oh no. No, my village is in the Feywild, but we have a place that connects to this plane, and we send people out, like me.
Are you ever wanting to go back, or do you know your way back?
I think I think I could make my way back, if I get to either the Feywild through another means, or if I were to go back into the Savalier Wood. I think the crossing over point was pretty somewhere in the ruins there.
Okay.
But I could also find my way if I was in the Feywild.
I was just curious. I don't want to disturb you. I see you getting ready to sleep.
Yeah, like I said, my tribe and family, we choose somebody every generation to go out and kind of see what's going on and learn of the world, and sometimes we cross over into this plane, and sometimes we go to far other planes, and we're a bit of an oddity in that we are a little more adventurous than most pixies.
I can see that.
But I
yeah.
don't-
You turned a captain into a pigeon.
That was pretty funny, huh?
Yes, quite funny. Okay, well, have a good rest.
Okay, good night. And she kind of curls up and, kind of rolls over with these leaves and goes to sleep.
I go back over to wherever I usually rest by the wagon. On the
Okay.
wagon. And go sleep.
Who was
Who's
taking first
taking-
watch? Oh, Theoden was taking first watch. And
Theoden.
you rolled a 7. Okay.
Rolled a 7.
Perfect. Okay.
We all die. Thanks to third.
Yep. All dead. Yeah, so you sitting there with the camp, trying to keep the fire lit in the, like I said, it's not like a storm where it's just pouring rain, but it's just kind of comes and goes in like big drizzles, and the occasional heavier portion, and then it goes away. It's just kind of one of those like summer rainstorms that just waters the land, basically. So, all right. So who's taking the second shift?
All right, I haven't done one in a while. I might as well do it now.
All right, I'll go get Pete up.
Okay.
Hey.
So Pete gets it. Pete, roll a perception check for me, please.
I'm actually gonna summon my spirit. Just to spend some time with it and kind of help me out. Just hang around.
Okay. So you kind of shelter, under one of the trees where you aren't worried about the water getting on your, you know, flame spirit so much as to cause him distress. But he appears and appears pretty happy. He's been a loyal companion to you so far.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit and petting him, looking around, seeing what I can see. But he's also helping me kind of light the area, and I will go ahead and put my goggles on so that I, can see further than just his light.
Do you have dark vision?
I don't. Not without the goggles.
Okay.
Oh right.
So instead of kind of a 30 feet range around the fire, you have like a full 60 feet dark vision at the moment with his goggles. So I think right. This is 60 feet.
Yeah, the goggles are supposed to be 60.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an 11 for my perception check.
Okay. So you are sitting there with your companion, and what does it look like for him to be there with you? Does he curl up? Does he kind of sit at attention? What's he doing?
Right now he's kind of just like curling in my lap while I'm petting him, but every once in a while he'll get up and move, and I'll lift my hand and stuff so he can jump over it or climb under it. Whatnot. It's a flaming fox, so I know he's got a lot of energy. So I'm just like half entertaining him while looking around, which is probably why I don't see as not paying super hard attention because I haven't had a lot of time to just spend bonding with him.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you're able to spend that time with him and kind of, he definitely provides you with that extra light to see out into the darkness. Yeah, as you're coming to the end of your shift, the rain subsides, and you're fairly certain it's, you kind of see the clouds. What you can tell, I mean, it's pretty dark, but you start to see the just ever so faint twinkle, maybe one star peeking through here or there, kind of indicating that the rain's kind of moving on. As you are getting ready to go to your next, go to Wake Lee. You see your fox spirit perk up suddenly. He kind of looks around for a second. And you see him kind of stop and look.
Hey, be careful with this. I'm speaking druidic for what is it?
And he kind of gives that kind of that kind of noise that dogs and animals do when they're kind of really focused on something. And
I'm trying to get somebody's attention from the camp. Whoever would be closest to me at that time.
That'd be me.
Would I be? I don't.
All of a sudden, out of the darkness, you hear this, and a arrow slams into your shoulder. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
I knew it! I knew it! And we're not going to be here next week. You are a horrible person.
Oh, man.
So.
I love it and hate it.
I'm telling you right now, I will dismember this person The next time we get together. 2 weeks of bent up aggression for Thurden. He's gonna smash everything.
Well, it's one bad sleep for Thurden. It's 2 weeks of aggression for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Right.
either
Right,
way.
Same thing, right? Yes. So we we'll see what happens next week. It will not be the normal campaign.
Next week.
Yes. So
Well,
but
you're not gonna
I
be
was going
here,
to talk.
right?
I'm not going to be here, but I was going to talk to you
Okay.
guys about something as an
Okay.
alternative. We'll see if you guys want to do it or not. If
Okay.
not, we will announce it on the
Sure.
socials. So.
Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
All right. Well,
Sounds good.
thank you all very much for joining us. A little bit lighter tonight, a little more RP, kind of just some travel. I had really bad rolls, so other random things didn't attack you. So,
Dang. Thurden's like, roll
Oh,
better. I
man.
want to hit something.
but yeah, so you got a glimpse of Anwin's antics, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
That may be how she wins Thurden over right there.
Yeah,
Pixies
that was
like
good.
Pixies like to pull pranks. Okay.
Yeah, Thurden's a little bit of a troublemaker too.
Yeah, exactly. So she may have to use that to bond with Theoden. So, but
we'll see.
yes, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Brody Caker, for being here. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Hit that follow if you haven't. Would love to have you join us on other occasions. We've also had Villian. Thank you for joining us as well. Appreciate it. And anyone else watching, so thankful for you guys being here. If you listen to the podcast or the VODs, we appreciate you. We love you, and good night, and God bless.
God bless.
See ya.